Hello and welcome. Good morning to you, beautiful Lagos City and beyond. This is the Sport Ride. My name is Kizuke. Happy New Week. It's a Monday, the 3rd of July, 2023. We keep moving. I'm very happy I'm back again. It can only be God. How are you doing, first of all, before we get to start the show? Hope you are very well. So now, on the show this morning, we'll start with the lady, talk about legendary, I call her, Tobi Amusan. Nigerian Tobi Amusan has won the women's 100-meter hurdle at the Stockholm Diamond League in Sanders race. Amusan ran 12.52 seconds to emerge winner. She defeated Sarah Lavin, who clocked the personal best of 12.73 to place in second, while PR as Chris Zoska finished third in the 12.78. Amusan is the current world record holder in the 100-meter hurdle. Back in 2022, she broke the women's 100-meter hurdle world record in the semi-final, clocking 12.12 seconds, and 2 hours later in the final, won the gold medal and even faster time of 12.06. Athletes are awarded points instead of medals for competing in each leg for the Diamond League Series. The top 8 athletes in each event at the end of the legs will qualify for the Diamond League final, where they will also compete for the trophy. The competition in Stockholm was the 7th event in the Diamond League 2023 season. Now the Diamond League 2023 season and series will wrap up with 2 delayed finals in Eugene, the USA, on September 16 and 17 respectively. Congratulations to that lady, Tobi Amusan. She's doing it well. But still on the local news, I've got this one now. Super Falcons forward Uche Nakano says she will be very strong as she and her teammates are mentally prepared for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. The tournament will take place this year, Australia and New Zealand, between July 20th and August 20th. In an interview with Athletic, Kano maintains that despite being placed in a tricky group, the girls will do well at the competition. Regardless of the result, I feel like as a group, it's led on us as individuals to know where we are, Kano said. We've seen the group and it's going to be hard, but we are still mentally prepared and moving forward. I think we have a good team. We're going to do great. Kano has netted 5 goals in 10 appearances for the Super Falcons of Nigeria, and now the Super Falcons are in the Group B of the World Cup alongside Australia, Republic of Ireland and Canada. This is the team 9th appearance at the FIFA Women's World Cup. Moving on to the show, still talking about the Falcons now. I've got this one on Super Falcons Group B opponent. Australia will unveil their 23 players for this month's FIFA Women's World Cup. Matilda's players will and also land if their last-ditch efforts to earn a Women's World Cup bet have paid off when coach Tony Gustavinsen names his final squad. Gustavinsen and captain Sam Kerr will unveil the 23 players, the squad in Melbourne on Monday. That's today, stated today. The announcement will come off the back of a Gold Coast training camp where those with little exposed form or injuries pressed their selection cases. Australia, co-host of the Women's World Cup, will open their campaign against Deputant Republic of Ireland on July 20th. Their game next comes up against the Super Falcons on July 27th before they will take on Canada in their final group tie on July 31st. Now, away from that, talking football, we're just trying to pace on the show, so we get to cover every of this news so we don't get to... personally, for me, I don't like to go home with my news, so I need to be very patient on the show, so you just have to permit me on that. Now, let's talk about Abia State Governor Dr. Alex Oti. At the weekend, indicated that his government would recruit more talented players from across the world to prepare Eyimba for the, competing successful campaign coming up very soon. He said they are going to be very, very strong, talented players from across the world to prepare Eyimba for the challenge of competing successfully in the CAF Champions League against a sophisticated team from North Africa. He also assured that his administration would provide Eyimba the support they need to excel in local competition. Speaking during the receptionist at the banquet hall, Government House Umahia, he organized for Eyimba, who recently won the Nigerian Premier League NPFL title at the Championship playoff in Lagos. OT announced that his government would renovate the Eyimba Stadium to make it more suitable and fit for the CAF Champions League. The governor, who was represented by his deputy, Mr. Ikechukwu Emetus, sympathized with the players over their unpaid 3-month salary by the past administration and announced that he has instructed that the process of deferring the outstanding salaries be affected immediately. He also commended the coaching crew headed by Nigeria veteran footballer Finidi George and the immediate past chairman of the club, Felix Ayase Agu, for leading the players to achieve victory. Oti also commended former Super Eagles captain Nwankwo Kanu for offering to provide support to the state's growing sporting industry. Speaking on the Abia State House Assembly, Emmanuel Emerua, while encouraging the team to be resolute in their winning stride, assured that their worst days are over, following the present administrator poised to breathe new lease of life into the club. He consequently urged the management to remain focused in their resolve to position the football club back again to success. Now, earlier, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Sports, Mr. Chinedu Ekeke, has told Governor Oti for his commitment in sponsoring the club to the tournament and the players for their gallantry in winning the trophy. On behalf of the team, coach Finidi George acknowledged Governor Oti's encouragement and support to the team and assured that the club would not take government support for granted but strive to win more laurels for the state. The high point of the event was the presentation of 2 trophies won by Eyimba and a jersey right to Governor Oti by African League Player of the Year Samuel Chukwueze. Quite lengthy, but congratulations to that Eyimba side. And still talking about Eyimba now, Felix Anyasiago is doing all it takes to continue as Eyimba chairman, having been replaced by Nigerian and Arsenal legend Kanu Nwankwo on Sunday. According to report, Kanu 46 was appointed as the People's Elephant new boss by the state government to end the 24-year-old reign of the experienced proprietor vice president of the Nigerian Football Federation. A top source of the Aba Elephant confirmed this, according to reports, saying while claiming players and officials of the reigning Nigerian Professional Football League side, talk about Nigerian Premier League, Nigerian Premier Football League, I beg your pardon, no more professional, sorry. Kings are already looking forward to life under the 2-time African Player of the Year. Talk about Kanu. It's true that Kanu Nwankwo has been named as our new chairman, but our former boss, Anyasa, is doing everything possible to hold on that position. The source also pleaded anonymity, saying, well, I don't know what informed this decision, but in life, only change is constant. I can't hint you that most of the players and officials are excited with the development and can't wait to get going under the Football League. Now, under Anyasa, Eyimba has risen from the relatively unknown status to one of the African most successful clubs, aside from helping the Aba-based outfit emerge as champions, winners for the record 9 times. He played a key role as the team ruled Africa twice. First in 2003, then defeating their title successfully back in 2004. Now, Kanu's appointment will see him reunite with his former international teammate Finidi George. Both players were part of the Lisbon Hall Ajax squad, which won the Champions League back in 1995 following a 1-0 triumph over Serie A outfit AC Milan. Inside Ernst Hapoel Stadium in Vienna, Kanu started his professional career with Iwanyamu National, talk about now currently Heartland, in the 1992-1993 campaign. From impressing at Holy Ghost College back in Owerri, still fresh from the triumph, Kanu captained Nigeria to the gold medal at the 1996 Olympic Games, inspiring a move to Inter Milan. He also played for Gunners, Arsenal, West Brom Albion, and Portsmouth in his career. Then that spanned like 20 years ago. Now, Kanu was a member of the Arsenal Invincible, led by Arsene Wenger, that went a whole season undefeated in the English Premier League. He would also be hoping to lead Eyimba to a successful outing in next season CAF Champions League, as well as winning the MPFL for the 10th time. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Welcome development for Kanu Nwankwo to make a move. What more can I say about this legend? I'm just going to try and pause. I've not been talking about every other news, but let me talk about this quickly because I know what it takes to be out there. I know what it takes to be back home again. I know what it takes to be a player who have plied the trade in the English Premier League. Top-notch player, Kanu Nwankwo, very, very incredible player during this playing time. But the question is, I understand how Felix Anyasiago feels right now. A job that you've really instilled a hold on the club. Talk about Eyimba, and what is brought to the table to Eyimba now is great. But the question is, Kanu Nwankwo now, for me, I feel he's going to be under a little pressure. Yeah, because if he's not under pressure, I don't think the job will be okay, truth be told, because IRC has lived up to expectations, and during his time at the club, his achievement is massive. Great, magnificent. What more can I say about this man? He does well when he talks about football administration and the rest of that. So Eyimba right now, take it away from them. Nothing can be taken off from this team. They remain to be the best team in Nigerian Premier Football League. Reasons are because they are 2 times CAF Champions League winners, and they've been there, and this time around again. So it will be okay. So let's see how you reuniting again. Talk about Kanu Nwankwo and also Finidi George would make an impact. But let's talk on tennis now. Novak Djokovic begins his quest for a 12th Grand Slam title and 8th Wimbledon crown against Argentina Pedro Cashin. Now, Novak Djokovic, the Serbian guy, he's 36. We are going to see him again on center court on Monday at the All England Club. And also world number 1 Ika Swiatek, the Pole lady, gets her campaign up and running as she looks to improve her grass court record. Reigning champion Novak Djokovic, world number 1 Ika Swiatek, and outspoken Dan Evans are all in action on Monday, that's today, as this year's Wimbledon Championship gets underway. Djokovic claimed the men's record 23rd Grand Slam title at the French Open last month to leapfrog Rafael Nadal and go 3 ahead of another great rival in Roger Federer. With the 36-year-old targeting an 8th crown at the Wimbledon, which begins on Monday, victory at the All England club will leave Djokovic level with Margaret Court on 24 major titles atop of the all-time list. The seventh international gets his quest for glory at the Wimbledon without earlier Federer or Nadal, taking part for the first time in 25 years up and running as he faces Argentina Pedro Cachin on center court. With his preparation for the encounter held by a training section with the British veteran and the Murray, it was great to have a hit with him on championship court. Djokovic told the report, "We haven't done that in a while. It was like the gold old days." He's someone that's really inspirational, so to me and to many players around the world. In terms of my achievement and goals, they are always very high, and still at this stage of my career, I am able to perform well. That's what actually matters the most right now. I'm going to try to play very well here and maybe get another shot at the same result as later last year, and as long as they are drive, I will be here. And also for the lady, women's world number one, Iga Swiatek is on a mission to improve her modest record on grass court at the Wimbledon this year. Swiatek won the US Open back in 2022 and last month secured her second consecutive French Open crown. But while the 22-year-old has had a success on courts, talk about hard courts on clay, she's yet to win a tournament on grass and has yet to get past the round of 16 at the Wimbledon. The pole overall win loss record at the slick surface is 9-5. And she acknowledged she had to do better to be counted among the game's greatest players. I believe the best players, they can play on all surface. I want to become the kind of player who can play well on grass as well as I feel comfortable there, Swiatek said. Who meets China Zhong Lin on court 1 on Monday, told reports, "I'm doing my best to just work on my skills. Last year, I feel like we've done a lot, pretty good job with my coach in terms of my turf and getting back slides and also playing the slide. This year, I feel like we had more time to kind of focus on the basic, more time, and also to see that we get to do it right." So about Iga Swiatek, she's doing amazingly well. The pole lady, it's just something else to talk about. The ladies good. Now also in action of the opening days of the championship, all eyes will be on the 27th seed Dan Evans as he takes on French Quentin Halys on Monday after the 33-year-old had a controversial build-up this year in the tournament. So over the past couple of months, the outspoken Evans has criticized other British players for not playing enough tournaments, hit out and elitist nature of the sports, and claimed Emerald Raducanu's US Open win papered over the domestic crack. So on tennis, this personality is actually big. When you talk about Evans, you talk about Novak Djokovic, you talk about Iga Swiatek. I think I'm loving the Iga Swiatek more, maybe because she's young. She's just 22. She's a Polish lady, and she needs a face that she needs to cross. So for her, it's like a competition. She can't wait to break the record of the Wimbledon, stoppage where she have always wanted to cross. But I think this time around, if she does well, she would be out there. But quickly on the show, talk about Formula One now. The Mercedes team principal, Toto Wolff, has described his strong wall to Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton have been in the news all the time, every time we talk about Formula One, because his contract is what we're waiting for. Maybe we in the media are trying to see how possible this man will get to make this happen. But at the moment, the Mercedes team principal, Toto Wolff, has described his strong walls to Lewis Hamilton in effective demanding his driver focus on his job. As an effort to calm things down at the fractional Austrian Grand Prix, after the race, the FIA motorsports governing body also reacted to a host of track limit violations, including those that had been excising Hamilton and that went on to change the result post-race, by insisting the circuit make changes to allow Formula One to continue to race at the Red Bull Ring. During the race, Wolff had to admonish Hamilton to be persistent in a string of complaints after the track limit issued, for which he was penalized. It was a necessary interjection, Wolff said, only for the best of the drivers and the best interest of the drivers and of the team. He said, sometimes there's a certain moment you need to calm things down. So that is it in the world of Formula One. Max Verstappen also in the news as well, but just a quick one about this man, Lewis Hamilton. Toto Wolff is being persistent and maybe optimistic to see if Lewis Hamilton is going to, possibly get a listen to him on that record. Now, quickly away from that transfer news, football talks now. A whole lot of stuff is happening in the world at the moment. Transfer window open, Spain, England, the Premier League has been open for a while now. So the Premier League side, the French League One, the German Bundesliga, all open now. So we are still seeing clubs signing. I don't know who or what you make about your best club, who have get the signed players. But now on the show, talking about Arsenal. Arsenal are rethinking sale on plan for Granit Xhaka. The Swiss international midfielder is expected to leave for Bayer Leverkusen once Arsenal complete the signing of West Ham captain Declan Rice. However, according to reports, Xhaka may now not believe in Arsenal. Gunners boss Mikel Arteta has been reluctant to lose the midfielder, no matter the changes planned this summer. Should Xhaka consider the move, Arteta will be happy to include him for the new season. And if this happens, I'll tell you, Arsenal will only end up having squad depth. That's just what it is. If this happens, we'll only end up seeing Arsenal have squad depth, because if you don't let Granit Xhaka go, you get in Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard. The midfield Thomas Partey may be possibly staying. If he will stay though, you would agree with me that this time around Arsenal will definitely have to compete, because everybody's saying it's a no-go area for them. Some say 11 years Arsenal will not win the league again. Some say 12 years. Maybe nobody ever saw Arsenal get to this point they got last season. But with the squad depth, for me, my opinion though, don't get me wrong, I just so believe that Arsenal, will get somewhere. Because if you have a Declan Rice who is a ball carrier, and maybe also saying they want to get a Moise Caicedo, which I don't think is possible, and leaving Granit Xhaka stay with the club, then that will be okay. Because if you let this guy go and you're bringing in Declan Rice, will be a perfect replacement. But if he stays, it will be an advantage. But quickly, we've got time. Let's talk about the next story now. Barcelona president Joan Laporta says winning La Liga remains the priority next season. Barca claimed the title in coach Xavi's second season in charge, and winning this league is one season with all 6 professional teams is a great source of pride. According to Laporta, he said, we also have the viability plan approved by La Liga. We want more. We are not satisfied with this, and we have to make the leap to Europe, and that is why we are strengthening our team. I would like La Liga to have the best players in the world, and we are the first one who has done this to achieve this feat. That's from Laporta. Barcelona president wanting more for the club. They won the La Liga Santander. Now, still on Barcelona news, Brazilian legend Neymar Jr. has been linked with a move to La Liga Champions Football Club Barcelona this summer. According to reports, Neymar might just be moving the other way, and the personal terms have been agreed between the player and the club. It's unclear at the moment whether it will be a loan deal or an outright signing with a contract. But Neymar has had issues at Paris Saint-Germain at the moment with recurring injuries every season since his signing back in 2017. The 21-year-old was previously a Barcelona player where he plied his trade from 2013 to 2017, scoring 105 goals and notching 76 assists in 186 matches. Barcelona have now signed Ilkay Gundogan to the club this summer. Neymar racked up to 13 goals and 11 assists in 20 French League One games this season. Last season, now Paris Saint-Germain won the League One with 85 points from 38 matches. Barcelona also won La Liga with 88 points after 38 games in the division. So it's about Neymar. Maybe we'll see that deal come to play. Neymar moving to Barcelona, it will have to talk about time. Now, lastly on the show, wrapping up, let's talk about Matej Kovacic. He's making a move. He has made a move rather to Manchester City, but it's about real recognizing real. Matej Kovacic has described Man City star Phil Foden as a special player, and we'll be looking forward to playing alongside with him. Recall that the former Chelsea midfielder joined City last week. Kovacic said, I think Phil Foden is probably the player that can dominate and that has already won so much throughout his young career, and showing every game that he is on the big level and a huge talent. As well in the game, Champions League winner and Champions League final, when he came on, he was great. And to see his movement on the ball and the skill, I think he's a special player, very similar to David Silva. Maybe this is the type of player that I see in Foden. Yeah, it's about Matej Kovacic. Phil Foden. We know, if you talk about Foden's story, you take it back to when Foden said, I want to leave the club. Foden was telling Pep Guardiola, I feel I need to go. And Pep was like, you need to stay back, watch this man on the study, Silva, who went to Real to say that. But he said, no, I want to go. He gave examples of some players who are having to play at the club, Jude Bellingham, Mason Mount, Rhys James, these guys who are his teammates. But Pep Guardiola said, no, you have to stay back with the club. And really, as I talk to you now, he's instilled so much, a lot of impact on Phil Foden. You can't imagine what he's achieved over time with his age and how young he is. But Matej Kovacic also will join the team. So it's more like Pep has gotten what he wants for himself, a better replacement of Ilkay Gundogan. But it is on this note that I have to sign out of the show. My time is far gone. But what's really interesting, don't mind, I had to be busy just to give you all of this. But I will be back again on your TV screen, hopefully for tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and that's going to be the 4th of July, to give you more transfer news and also every sporting event that would be happening around football. This is Voice of the People TV. My name is Kizzy K. Good morning once again. Bye-bye for now.